Hold on. Bingo. Give it a little delay. And we're live.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to another exciting episode of Doodle and Chill. We have the usual gang with us here today. Let's start down in the row down here, and we'll go and announce
Oh,
who we are. And first up, what?
one problem. It just when an error occurred, it got cut.
Okay.
That's stupid. It started like say you're live and then it goes unsupported resolution. You need to change the video resolution to current resolution, which is not supported for this configuration and it's resolution 1280 to 720.
Give it permission to your email or whatever,
Okay, they said
and
it was
then
live, and we're live.
are we live?
All right.
Been talking complete crap.
It's just been the way today's been going, I guess. Well,
Yes.
again, welcome everyone to Doodle and Chill. I am Tinfoil Hat Nick. I'll be your host along with Jason Starr today. We have a special guest, Mr. Carl O'Rowe. We're going to be talking about his book, Deathsworn. But before we get started, let's go ahead and introduce the panel. I'll start with Mr. Aaron Calamari.
Hey everybody, I'm Aaron. I'm the writer for Extractors. Our campaign just ended. We unfortunately didn't reach our goal, but I'm really proud of how well we did. I think we had 83 backers, and I just want to thank everyone for all their support on the project. And we're gonna have an update on the Indiegogo for everybody sometime between now and Monday. So yeah,
Cool.
Just thanks everybody.
Awesome, man. That was that is pretty impressive. That's a lot of backers for a book. I don't care who you are. So congratulations on that. Next up, we have Mr. Jason Starr. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm doing well, and hello, folks. Jason Starr from the Starcaps Network. It's good to be here on another fine Doodle and Chill.
All right. And next up, we have Mr. Simon Simpatier.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Follow me on Twitter. Yay. No, I'm doing the end. Yeah, go check out Blood Hunt, the most badass elite assassin vampire in comics. Now in demand, and go check out Deathsworn, because it's badass. Next.
Excellent. And I am at Tinfoil Hat Nick. You can follow me on Twitter at Tinfoil Hat Nick and on YouTube at the news station named Dewey, Fundum, and Hal. So, and now we will introduce today's guest. How are you doing, Mr. Carl O'Rowe?
Hey man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on.
I'm bad at these introduction things.
Oh, it's okay.
But, yeah.
Good deal. So your book, Deathsworn, seems to have taken off quite handily. I mean, you got funded in what, a day?
Yeah, I think just under 24 hours we met the goal, which was about $3,000, I think.
That's awesome, man. That is really, really cool. And it looks like Sim already has your campaign up on the screen, but tell us a little bit of the backstory. Like, how did you build this world, and how did this come to be?
Oh yeah, it's weird because it came from kind of all over the place, and it is sort of like a kitchen sink property, like He-Man, where it's just everything I like, like it's my perfect place where I want to go, and there's not really one pure genre or style or anything in it, but everything sort of works together and is cohesive. But it started off with I think I made the female character there, Tatiana Darkstar. I came up with her because I heard a weird Russian name, I think, and it sounded like Darkstar. And I kind of worked it back to that. And I thought that'd be a cool name I had some vampire ideas for a story. And I was like, that'd be a cool name for these space vampires. And I thought, Darkstar, how could you make that one? What if they're this race of vampires that need the sun? So they sort of feed off of suns until they go dark. And she was I had her for a while, and I, just threw her away. She was there in the notebooks and stuff. And then the kind of swashbuckler guy on the right, he came about when I wanted to do a couple of like fake cover sort of pin-ups and posters of like wacky Silver Age characters, and I wanted to do this kind of intergalactic hero guy called Dominic Danger, who's kind of super cheesy, and you have him fight like some really weird sort of retro bad guys. And then he was kind of just sitting there, and then I think after that came the name. I love just making logos and making whatever, so I wanted to try my hand at doing a real like one of those 80s chrome logos, and
Right.
I was coming up with all kinds of names. I was like Thunder Scream and all this stuff, and then I came up with Deathsworn, and I was like, okay, that's a badass name. And then I did the first version of the logo, and then I was like Halloween. I know this because I've been telling this all the time, but it's Halloween 2016, like Halloween night 2016. I was kind of like, I was bummed out in college. I hated it, and bummed out with where I was, like not getting noticed, and I couldn't really sell myself. And I was like, I need to come up with a character that's instantly recognizable and like iconic from the silhouette that I can turn into my signature, turn into like I can make that guy big. Like if I can't make myself big, I make that guy big. And I just thought of a Frazetta barbarian in a space fantasy setting. And I just that first day I drew him out, and I think he was originally like purple, and he kind of had like much tanner skin. And I just within the next 2 days I kind of worked him down to just basics of what he was, and it just stuck with me. And then I thought, he's that name I came up with. Deathsworn, this is the guy. Like that name fits this guy, and that brought in a whole 80s aesthetic to it. And then I kept drawing the same types of fake covers and fake sort of print ideas I was doing with the Dominic Danger character, and I kept putting these three characters together, and they just turned out to be this perfect archetypal trio of like this strong-headed brute, you know, that's like super aggro, and then you have the sort of confident female lead that's almost like the mother between these, you know, like she's the straight-headed one between these two guys, and you have the comedy relief sort of space pirate bounty hunter guy. And yeah, and then I just kept going with it, kept working on it until we have it like it is now.
Oh, that's awesome, man. The cover of this, it reminds me, it's like there's two places in the whole world, and maybe this page that Sim's on right now as well. That would either be on like the front of a Megadeth album or some kind of metal band from the 80s, or on the side of a van as it was driving down the street, airbrushed. I've always thought that from some of the other stuff I've seen of yours, that it would look fantastic on the side of like the vans that we had here back in the 80s, where everybody airbrushed like all these fantasy stuff on the side of them.
Yeah, let me guess, Kyle.
Yeah.
You were a big fan of Heavy Metal Magazine too, right?
I haven't really I'm a fan of a lot of the guys that sort of surround it. I haven't delved too deep in that actually, you know? Like I kind of know of because that definitely wasn't, I think maybe in the heyday of that, I was still like just a little kid. So, but like Simon Bisley and all those big guys,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
I love the humanoid stuff, the Meta Baron stuff, and Juan Jimenez. But one of the big things I got with that, that was originally the cover for what was going to be a second issue, the one where they're on a ship, and everyone goes, "That's Doom. That's the Doom image, the Doom cover."
Mhm.
And it's funny because I was going for, there's a bunch of old sci-fi paintings from the 70s of crashed ships on alien worlds and stuff, and I was thinking that I was like, that's definitely going to be it. And then I incorporate the sun, because the sun is sort of like this thematic thing throughout the story, and just the idea of a sun anyway. And then these mutants are related to all that stuff. And then yeah, people, it's so cool. Like I love it when people point out exactly what I meant to do, even if I don't know about it, you know.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, man, this totally spoke to me in this way. Aha! I'm glad you got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. I go, huh? You're right. Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, it looks good, bro.
that's always cool. When this looks amazing. I mean, I love how you keep the like with the coloring in the background and everything. It's like different shades of purple and maroon, but you make them work well together to where they stand out, even though they're like you use muted tones in the background, and it makes everything else stand out. Like these colors just pop off the page.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I've always been real stickler for my colors and how they show up, you know. So even I've been getting some test prints in from a printer, and I was like super happy with how they showed up. Like I've never seen my colors put out this well before.
Yeah, that's excellent. I mean, I don't know, man. There's not enough superlatives that I can give you on this one. I mean, everything's solid from the story concept through the art. I mean, just everything. It's just craziness.
Thanks,
It
dude.
looks so good.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm
Yeah,
Irish.
like,
I'm really bad at taking compliments. So
oh, it's okay. I understand. I'm from the South. We're pretty much the same way.
So
Now,
yeah, dude.
you're coming up on a stretch goal, and at 10,000, that stretch goal is you get 5 trading cards, and you can play these against each other. Explain how that works.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's gonna be the basic sort of, I guess, top trump style play where, you know, if someone picks a card and you pick a card, and then I guess whoever's turn it is, you know, they'd pick the skill, you know, the ranking that they want to play against you, and then whoever is the stronger one wins, you know, like that basic top trumps play. But I'm adding cards that will affect the game but don't have power rankings, and they're going to be team cards or item cards, and they're going to have special mechanics that affect the other players or can affect you if you choose to play them or not. And so it's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
this is like, these are going to be, and I want to grow these. I want to keep growing these, and as long as I'm working on Deathsworn, I'm going to keep growing them. That's why I wanted to do special like team cards and item cards, because that just adds so much more room to it than just characters, you know, because now I can do factions, I can do special weapons, I can do spaceships, I can do whatever, you know. And yeah, they're gonna come in a protective sleeve, and that sleeve comes with a little cover slip over it, so they're gonna look real nice and packaged.
yeah, man.
awesome.
Those things look absolutely awesome. Yeah. I like that idea. You know, that was one of the things for me. Like everybody gets all, you know, they get all excited and happy about trading cards. And I understand the appeal of trading cards because I have the first 2 series of the Marvel trading cards from back in the day. But I was always like, you know, just getting one and you may never get another one that comes out of this set. It really didn't make sense to me. But I like how you're doing this because it actually it's like setting up a game for the future and stuff like that.
Yeah. You know, a few of us were
Yeah, and I think.
go.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna
Oh,
say
okay.
that a few of us were discussing doing the same principle, but with like a magic team type of game, doing a magic card.
Yeah, see, I've really never really been into trading cards. So the only card games I really know are like Top Trumps.
Mm.
They were like, you know, so I just thought like, well, that's a way to keep the classic sort of that old school Marvel power ranking,
Mhm.
but include this sort of, you know, where you just pick one, you go like, okay, you know, if I have a Deathsworn card, I'm gonna combat his strength against whatever card you have, and I don't know what card you have, and you might have someone better, you might have no someone not, you might have a special card that immediately takes my card off the playing field, you know.
Huh. Yeah, it
You
is.
might have a special card that brings back your most powerful guy. So
It's interesting. Mm.
Oh, yeah.
I like the principle of
I'm
your
I'm
also
card
big
games.
hoping
Yeah.
into
to put like, I'm hoping to put like little secrets about backgrounds, you know, stuff that might not be like surface level, like or relevant to the story, and being able to put those little background features into the trading cards about these characters, you know.
Because the idea we were discussing was we wanted to do the same principle. I just like the idea of what you're doing. But the idea was like, imagine if we had like different card sets from different campaigns and they could all play against each other.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So like a Vincent card could play against something from Deathsworn, but it has to be like have to have the right kind of mechanics and all this other stuff. Yeah, I see
Exactly.
what you're saying.
That's why we were discussing doing like an idea of Magic the Gathering type of card. But I like his a bit. I
Mhm.
like his better.
now.
Like no, but technically it's like a simpler version. Like it'll be simpler to make it work among like between different characters in a way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Very
Yeah, well,
much so.
I think
Well,
because I didn't want to take away the, there's something about those old school Marvel trading cards where it's like, even if you weren't using them like as a play against sort of game, it's still all the rankings still kind of tell you something about a character, and it's kind of cool because it might give you a kick when you see how dumb like Deathsworn is, like laid out like that, or compared to the other characters,
Yeah. I just think it would be a cool thing if like a few campaigns would do the same type of like game basic, so we can have like all the trading cards play against each other. So it's like back this book, and you have 5 cards, and could build up to be a fun game for the supporters.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just have it's like a big inside comic skate top trumps type game.
Yeah.
Just roll it around like that. Yeah, I mean, like you be at con if you run into somebody that you know is a comic skater, and you guys just sit there and start playing. That would be a good way to drum up some interesting things. I want to take a look at the chat here and just see. Shout out to everybody we got in here so far. We got let's see here. Start from we have Zaid Comics says hey, hell y'all. Vic King, hell chat, hell panel. Chris Evans, hell. Hexbox says hell boomers. Thank you very much. James Hayes says hello. Hope you're doing well. Some more hails.
Hell.
Even more hail. It's just hailing. We got Black Daddy in here saying hail. Let's see here. Comic Art Master, Mr. Joe Spall is saying, what is it? What is it? He also says that Carl is an art beast, and I will have to agree with him on that one. Panboy, Lando, Soil Child, Dong Lover, Hail Brothers and Sisters, Hail Pan, and Hail Red Gaze. So that's all. And Mike Sexton, a friend of mine, is listening in. This is very cool. He says that game sounds fun. And so, see, there's just more support growing for the Comicsgate game, and you heard it here first, folks.
So if you want, we could discuss it and try and make it happen. Like we could set like give us the basic of the game and could make it match. We all build a big freaking game with this thing.
Yeah, I mean it'd be pretty basic. I'm following for the ratings. I'm following I think it's the first or the second. It's exactly what Graveyard Shift used on theirs. They kind of did the same take on it.
Okay.
So I'm using that, but yeah, the other sort of weird mechanics for team cards or item cards are cool. I'll let you
I
in
like
on
that as well.
because I think they're pretty interesting, like what I kind of came up with.
Mm-hmm.
And they also relate. One of the cool things is that they, like for me, they like the actions of those cards, what they do to the player or the field or whatever. They're come straight from your story, so you could have these kind of story elements affecting other characters,
Yeah.
from across Comicsgate.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the teams. There's there's another trading card game done with the Transformers where you can actually put together Devastator. You just got to collect 6 cards, but it's got those kind of mechanics in it, and I really, really like that.
Yeah, something like that would be cool. That'd be really cool if there was something that
Or a team version, like 5, like Team Deathsworn versus Team I don't know, Blood Hunt, just for the hell of it. There's no team in there, but
one guy takes 67 cards to build them.
yeah, build your team. Like you could have like 2 Deathsworn plus Blood Hunt, and then you have like on the other team this, and team versus team.
But
Yeah.
it's funny because I've been doing that with the some of the sketch cards, I've been thinking about ways of doing that. I'm like taping them up at the back and doing like these kind of foldable, elongated cards and stuff. And I'm thinking
Mhm.
about doing like, face-off sort of cards where two characters will be, you'll fold it out and they'll be, heading together and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're going to be making some die soon, I'm afraid. I can just feel it coming. All right. Well, if Sim will scroll back up, let's go through your tiers. That's it. Yeah.
So we got the featured one at 50.
And, yep.
Yeah, so that gets you the main 80-page book and the Ashcan, the 46-page Ashcan, and a sketch card for me. And the sketch cards are, it's not just like my Bristol board chopped up. It's they're properly like made, custom made sketch cards. They have uncoded front that I can draw on, and then they have a high gloss back that has a cool sort of back cover to it.
And you have
Yeah, that's cool. Now, tell me about the ash can a little bit. Hold on, before we move on. Tell me about that ash can.
Okay, yeah. If Sim can scroll down because there's a couple of stuff about that. But yeah, the Ashcan is sort of like
that's the one, right? There we go.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's called First Hunt. It's 46 pages. It's like an underground comics meets a manga because it's manga sized. And yeah, I'm really into mini comics and weird shape and weird formats. Like I love the He-Man mini comics that used to come with the toys and like experiment
Yeah.
with it. And there's
those
something
were
to
awesome.
there's something to like comics was really big about taking back the sort of blockbuster side of comics, but there was always this underground that wore, like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or any number of like weird gritty underground guys that were underground comics now are like people making comic books about cats and depression. It's like it's complete garbage. I go to these like comic art fairs over here and it's like just women selling like postcards of cats and I'm like, what have you done?
What if we got a comic about depressed cats? Would that change your mind?
We have that here.
What wasn't there one about a depressed dog that was like a transgender prostitute? It wasn't that bad enough.
Oh, I think that
We
was
have to be cats.
somebody wrote a biography about me, and I think they just made me a dog.
But yeah, so I'm way into like the kind of underground and the indie and the punk scene, and like I mean, punk now is like just like you see these guys, it's like Jesus Christ, come on. So I'm into bringing that back and bringing back this kind of trashy feel for this book. And I wanted it to feel like a deleted scene. I wanted to feel like something that can never be compiled. It can never be thrown into, like the Ultimate Collection. It's a completely different format. It's this like mini prologue for the main book that just follows Deathsworn on this like hardcore espionage mission. And but because of the way it's really cool because I learned something when I was thumbnailing out this story that when you're drawing this like manga size, you can't just take a regular comic page and make it smaller, because then you lose instead of keeping the visual impact for 3/4 of the page, you're minimizing it for the whole page, so you kind of have to remove that bottom quarter of the page. And I realized like that's why manga is so well paced out when it comes to like their dialogue scenes and stuff. And it's really opposite of Western comics where like when people are doing like these page after page of dialogue scenes in like Marvel stuff, you're like, this is complete trash. Like there's no connection here, there's no character, there's no nothing. It's just some weird shit that the writer wants to say. And in manga, it's like no one ever complains about that. And they have like proper dialogue scenes that go on for a long time, like 3-4 pages, but you fly by them you fly by them real quick because it's so paced out well. I realized doing this that you can't have that standard medium length scene because there's the mechanic of turning the page, changing the scene, you know, and so that comes at you faster because you have that you lose that quarter of the bottom quarter row, and so you either have to make your scenes really long or really short. And so when I was doing this, and this was just meant to be like proper like hardcore action. And I was realizing how short I could cut the in-betweens, you know, just to get back to more action. And this book like flies at you. Like this book is like really hardcore. Like it's
Good.
when I think of like where that's what sort of moves to in the different sort of action set pieces within 20 pages alone, it's pretty like fast. It's pretty hardcore. I think it's going to be like, I think people are going to kind of be a bit surprised by it.
Excellent. I like a good surprise like this, and I like how it looks gritty. Now, did you do this on recycled paper, or is this going to be like? How did you do the book itself? How's the book going to be made?
Oh, when it comes to print, well, I'm doing it digitally, but on print, there was a place I was originally using first, and I was testing out their uncoated paper, and I really liked it. I thought it kept the sharpness, but if I just grunged up the artwork itself, it would give it that feel and that texture. But the new place I'm using might do that. I actually tried on recycled uncoated paper too, and there was no difference. Like I was actually kind of shocked by it. I was like, it was more expensive and there was no difference. It wasn't as trashy as I wanted to be. But the place I'm working with now are real open to options, and they're real open to working with me. So like when it comes to printing and it comes to like actually like compiling these books and trying to make something of it, they're pretty keen at trying to give everything they put out an original voice. So I'm gonna basically turn it in and be like, can we try and make it trashy? You know?
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, well, cool. Well, let's go back up and check out a few more of the tiers that we got. So here we just went through the featured, and now we're at the signed comic.
Yeah. So that's the signed 80-page main book.
Okay.
No biggie.
And
everything's signed, even the ash cans are signed.
Cool. And then we have a sign plus a sketch card. Now, that's the sketch cards that you're personally doing yourself?
Yeah. So they, just like the cards, they're going to come in their own protective sleeve as well. So, you know, you don't have to worry about them getting wet or getting damaged or getting whatever. And the books come back and boarded, and they're going to be sent in a proper cardboard book mailer, like a Gemini mailer, but it's just
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Gemini mailers or the cardboard ones that's the way to go really with those, because they're pretty solid. And the next one we have a signed comic and ash can for $40. And that's it says a signed Deathsworn book, 80 pages, and you get the ash can for 40. You can get 2 signed comics for 44. And that's then we got 2 signed comics and the ash can for $74. And you said you sold out of, and then we have the next one is the sketch cover bundle. Now explain that one.
Yeah, so the sketch cover is, you know, it's going to be the 80-page book, but cover is going to be sort of blank. It actually is going to have the main book cover printed on the back in black and white, just the inks from the main cover of the book on the back cover of the sketch cover, and then the front is going to have an original drawing by me in ink on the cover. And then I sold a bundle with that, so you get an extra copy of the 80-page book, so you don't have to scuff up or open up your original art sketch cover.
Now, my question for the sketch cover is the sketch cover going to be signed?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, anything with art on it is going to be signed, so.
That's cool. And you have, it looks like you've sold out of your most expensive tier, which is very good. And that included the 2 toys. So that's cool.
Yeah.
There was only 3.
Yeah, there's only 3, except for like my personal ones that, I'm not willing to sell those.
I don't blame you at all. Well, that's
Yeah, man,
awesome.
it's
This
annoying
book
when I worked on those, they were so hard and took so long to come around, and then it's like he had so many people who he kind of had to give it to, people I knew and people who helped me out. They're like, "Oh man, I love those," and you're like, "Oh great, I kind of have to give you this, don't I? I can't sell this to you." But yeah, I'm actually right now. I'm looking into I seen how fast that kind of sold. I'm really sort of excited about trying to do something more with those. So um I think I'm looking into ways of streamlining that and kind of expanding to get more characters into it and scaling them up so it's going to be completely new molds and making sure that this time, because when my friend sculpted it and cast them, and when she was doing them, it was like she did the Deathsworn one first, and it was just like her first time ever doing anything like that, and then it kind of kept growing and growing. As she kept doing more, she kept getting better at it. She was able to figure out how to really make the joints move and stuff. And for her college project, she did like these 6-inch or like 7-inch big toys with like ball and socket kind of joints and pivot joints and stuff. And she's got a nail down now. So I think looking like I'm thinking about ways of really, there might be potential for a campaign just based on those toys, and I want to do mini comics with them. I want to do props and little sort of add-ons and stuff. I want to do a Deathsworn where you can change his head, so you'll have the masked helmet, you can have the normal helmet, you can change his arms, so you can put on the armor sleeves he has when he's in the gladiator arena and stuff. I'm really excited about trying to find out how to get around to doing that now.
And you could do like
that
you
is
said
cool. Now,
with the Masters of the Universe, like have the characters come with mini comic books.
Yeah, definitely. Mini comics and cool little fold out stuff. So I was thinking the Darkstar characters, they use these solar chambers to re-energize themselves, and I was like, it'd be cool if I could get like a flat printed card sort of solar chamber that you can take out and you can make yourself so that you can put your character in it.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a great idea. Oh my goodness. I like that a lot. And if you could pull off a good spaceship or two, you'll be good.
So
Oh god. I can't imagine the amount of resin it would take to make a spaceship.
So now
I'll make a spaceship out of cardboard.
Now you know you have
Nick
will buy it. Yeah. Now you know Nick will buy it.
Okay, I'll make one spaceship.
I love buying. Yeah, Nick does like a spaceship. That's for damn sure. Like I like a good spaceship, big, chunky. It's got a good weight to it. I like it.
What if I made the it's called the Imperial Sunstalker. It's the Emperor's big, huge. It's that ship that has a big skull face on it. What if I made that? It would be like 10 times the size of one of the characters. Impossible to ship.
Yes, that's very true. Those would be one of the ones that I would scale down to like sit on your desk type of model ships. But hey, a ship is a ship. I still like the ship.
What if I did one of those like promotional like they're called display wobblers, that would be on the action figure stands, where it's like that little plastic kind of strip that hangs off and it's just a big printed piece of card and it sort of like floats there. I can do that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm starting to think
That could work.
we should all have like a special hey Nick tier. If you do a black and white cover, a black and white version, a spaceship model, it's a hey Nick tier.
Oh well, talk about black and white versions. I have a referral contest on for. It's the first 20 pages of the 80-page book, but it's all in black and white. It's a test print I got for how I do the Ashcan, and so there's only 4 of these made.
So make them as a tier, yeah, and I'm sure it's gonna be a hey Nick moment.
Well, I had it as a
Well,
referral.
I will. No, he's doing them as referrals, and as a promoter, I would I would tell you to take my name out of that because I don't ever enter contests like that or let anybody put me in them because even though I am a fan and everything, I like to reserve those for other fans to try to get more people than myself talking about and pushing your book or anybody else's book that does that, because that's what helps promote and get these books funded. And at the end of the day, that's what I personally am all about. I don't care about, how many referrals I send to this book or that book or whatever. I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to promote it every day. And to anybody I can, yeah, I want my book. That's all I want.
I'm actually really happy that the Ash Can of 46 pages.
Yeah, well, that's because I've been working on this book for like a long time now. I have so much of it sort of done. So I kind of was like, oh, let's just do something really cool with the Ashcan, make it kind of big. And the story I wanted to do is sort of, I could have split it into two, and but I just kind of thought, oh, I don't really want to do that for Ashcans. I kind of want the Ashcans to be all sort of self-contained. So
I think that you might have the thickest ash can ever.
Well, like there's a lot of
at this point
I
was gonna say at this point it's not an Ashcan, it's a manga.
Yeah, there's a lot of gratuitous like double splash pages and like just splash pages everywhere. I really kind of went down it.
Because when you see someone say they have an ash can, you're like, okay, it's probably like maximum 16 pages, and he's like, oh, mine's 46. You're like, what the fuck?
It's just another comic book.
Yeah, and it's the same.
It's a graphic novel. It's not a big deal.
It's the same price as a 16-page one too.
Yeah.
What? Just because it's smaller?
I mean, no. It's just the way, what I kind of... Well, there's all sorts of things that go on the price of these things. For me, part of the pricing point for me is include shipping, because I'm trying to get that shipping down. But no, I was looking at other people's Ashcans, and I found one that was like 16-page, and I think it was $15, and I was like, okay, that's what I'll do.
Cool. I'm gonna run back in here to the chat real quick and see what's going on. We got Mike Sexton says those He-Man comics were fantastic. Prick 13's in the house says, "Hail, brothers and sisters." See who else we got here. Mike Sexton said, "Sir Meow Saint Melancholy the Third, the sad cat on Saturday night." I'm assuming that's what when we were talking about that depressed cat thing earlier. And we got Cyborg Valkyrie in the house says, "My ash can is 180 pages, full of color with foldouts and chromium cover. No biggie."
Yeah, talking about He-Man, me and Von Kloss from Monster MD, we're doing a kind of a weird He-Man show. We call it Live from Eternia, and we're kind of almost rebooting characters from He-Man in our sort of way, and we're sort of jamming on it live on stream. And Fawn will give me his ideas, and I'll give him my ideas. And we put out I think we did a show on Tuesday about Trapjaw, how we would sort of reboot Trapjaw and this weird sort of mix match He-Man first we're sort of creating. And we're thinking about doing some kind of like cool, trashy like fanzines, or maybe like put it up digitally first and then maybe do a kind of Daniel Warren Johnson thing with it,
Yeah, that's cool. I always liked the Trapjaw. He was the one with the big steel draw with the teeth on it, and I'm like imagining him with like a bonnet on or something like that. I mean, if you're gonna reimagine him, go big, make it funny. Well, that's what the guys, when they rebooted the Masters of the Universe in the early 2000s, they went to that third party toy creator whose name escapes me at the
Four
moment, and they
Horsemen?
came out, Four Horsemen, and they came out with this really awesome toy line and a great cartoon, and they killed it. And it really sucked. And they did the same thing with Thundercats when they rebooted Thundercats. They actually didn't have toys for the Thundercats thing, and they thought that they were going to make it into Legos. And at the last minute, Legos pulled out, and then they took those molds that were the Thundercats that were going to be in the Lego toys, and they made them into their own line. It was just crazy there for a little while, but I like that idea.
Yeah, we're kind of. I mean, my image of He-Man, that's just this like fucking hell. The style of He-Man that I like. Sorry. Dude, my timeline's been crap. Like, this is when I'm sleeping. You guys put a show on at a good time for me, but I've changed now to where this is where I would usually be sleeping. But yeah, so the style of He-Man I really like, and just I love it. I love the visuals. I love the character designs. I still think that you could change things up and hype it up and make it kind of cooler and make it more like magical, I guess. But I love the movie Eternia, the movie Grayskull, the movie Skeletor, even He-Man from the movie. Like, I just love the look of all that stuff. The William Stout designs, I think it's insane. And so a bit of that's kind of influencing a lot of it. And I love one of the things I hate about that cartoon reboot they did, because that was perfect when I was as a kid, and then they were doing reruns of the old ones at the same time. But one of the things I hated about that was they put in a lot of like tribal drums, and everything was very desert colored, and these kind of desert greens and desert sandy colors for all the backgrounds. And I felt like it took away that kind of, like, I don't know, like, dark to it. Like, it took away that kind of what they had in the movie with the synth soundtrack, and just I don't know, just all the rotoscoped like energy blasts and stuff. I just thought it was amazing. I love that stuff. That's like all in Deathsworn.
Sweet. Yeah, you can definitely see some of that, especially with the glowing axes and just the weapons that they carry and everything like that. This book looks really, really good. I think everybody should definitely go out and back this book. The price it's good value for money. You get a lot of book for your money, and those perks and the add-ins and the tiers are absolutely fantastic. So I definitely give this book a thumbs up.
Thanks, man. There's add-on perks. So when you sort of pick your perk that you want, you can go into the add-on section and you can get extra sketch cards, but you can also get a really cool acrylic standee. It's about 14 centimeters tall, and it's this clear acrylic standee of Deathsworn sort of standing on a base. It's really cool. You can put them on your desk. You can put them beside your books. You can put them wherever.
Oh yeah, I saw those. Those did look really good, actually. It's like something you would see at a con or when you walk up to the cash register at a comic book shop or something. I like those a lot.
Yeah, they're really kind of thick, clear plastic, and I actually got ones made before, but I didn't make the art like specifically for it. So the artwork I used was sort of Deathsworn, but he was kind of in a perspective, so his feet weren't level. So when I was designing this design for it, I was making it just for the acrylic standee, and so I kind of was thinking of like sort of John Buscema Conan poses and stuff, and I kind of came up with this really badass looking thing. You're gonna be able to put this guy on your desk or at your computer or whatever, and he's gonna look really cool.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Well, man, this looks absolutely great. And now comes to the point in our show where I step away for just about 5 minutes and I let everybody else ask you tons of questions. So, anybody in the chat got questions for Carl, or anybody on the panel has questions or comments for Carl? Now is your time, and I will be back in 5 minutes.
Well, I know I have a couple. How many days did you set your campaign up for originally? Just 30 or 31?
I think it was 31. But
Okay.
then I don't know exactly what time zone they sort of register the days as, because I set it for 31, but I started at 4 p.m. my time and it came up 32. So I don't know.
And do you plan on, like, when it gets lower, down to like maybe a week or two left, extending to your full amount of days allotted, or since you've already reached your funded goal, go straight into demand?
I've heard like different things. I've heard it's better to do that thing where you go for another round, because it kind of hacks the algorithm, I guess, and it gets it pushed forward in front of more people. And I'm all about getting more and more people to look at this. So yeah, I might. Depends how it comes to it. It's sort of, I'm only in a week of it yet, and it's sort of nerve wracking, you know.
Yeah.
Like when you go 2 hours without a sale, you're like, oh my god, like it's over. No one, no one likes me. So I don't know. It depends. I think if it gets to a place where it levels out and I'm happy and I can just kind of get back to work and promote it on the side, then I'll just keep pushing it out there and keep having it going.
Okay. And do you have a set date or goal in mind for fulfillment, like when your in demand process will end?
I set the estimated delivery on the thing is March next year. That's a ways out, but I just follow John Malone on that. John Malone always says, put it way out there. So I'm looking to, this was actually like there's a bit of background for like even setting this up, which was that there was some sort of corporate art jobs that were kind of taken off my lap.
Mhm.
And if this kind of gets big and gets going, then I mean, this is all I'll have to work on. So yeah, I might just burn through it and get it out maybe before Christmas, but the March date is just estimated.
All right.
Anybody else has a question?
Oh, I just had a comment. I don't know if Carl even remembers this, but on our extractors campaign we did, Carl drew an awesome poster of Switchback. So I just want to say thanks for that, Carl.
I remember it. Of course I remember it. Yeah. That was
Yeah.
like, I remember, I think I showed you, like, I was having a hard time with that one, man. I was showing you like color studies of different layouts and stuff, and then I kind of got to a breaking point and I was like, no, let me do this one character, let me make it as bloody as possible. And
Yeah.
yeah, that turned out to be that one.
Yeah, because I remember I just said, well, I just want it to be like really in your face. And then originally we had Medica and Switchback on it. And then somewhere along the line, we just decided to just do Switchback. And I thought it came out really awesome. So yeah, just thanks for doing that. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for giving me the chance to. I love doing that stuff. I mean, probably the most infamous one is Super Harem. And that's because people keep thinking that's the cover, and I'm like, I'm not that degenerate that I would never make if someone commissioned me to do a cover.
My favorite was the one you did with Deathsworn and Doom Guy.
Oh yeah. That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, that was like I was kind of experimenting with stuff on them. I kind of made it look like it was all on kind of town card or something. Yeah, that was a cool one.
So talking about Super Aaron, go support it
Yeah.
right here.
Yes, Brother Winger is sipping
Yeah.
alcoholic beverages in the French Quarter. Last I saw, I'm waiting on the Pina Colada song for a drunk Winger video singing the Pina Colada song. That's what I'm waiting on.
Yeah, Mister's on vacation for a week, so we're taking over the promotion for him. Let's get that project to 12K so we can get the book all fully covered, and he's almost there. So Super Harem with the nice little cover by Kylo Rowe. No.
Pin up,
Poster.
pin up, pin up.
I was doing the joke, yeah. The nice little pin-up by Color Row.
Yeah. It's
Did
funny.
you ever think that one of your pinups would cause as much mind-blowingly re-screeching as that did when you were drawing it?
Well, that's what he asked me to do. So
That's what
I
I
was
like
like,
to hear.
yeah, dude. Like, let's do it. Okay. Now I think back to it and I'm like, I wonder if there was a way I could have made it worse. I wonder if there's a way I could have put hide little Easter eggs in it. You know, I could have had some like little tubby blue haired chick in the background, like dropping all her shit in shock. That would have been funny.
Yeah,
That would
right.
have stirred up some people.
Right now, people are tripping because of the camel toe.
The camel toe, the pussy juices, that's a new thing Wenger's brought up. That is like, it's like, you not like,
Splush.
you asked me to do this, dude. It gets worse.
This is what you told me to do.
Ah,
Yeah.
He's playing with it. He's playing with it.
I think that's the problem.
So next, we also have the Critter little project, Starblades.
Yes, I love this book, man. I'm sort of I'm understudying Kyle, like in everything, because he's so good, and I love how clean his stuff is. My colors are never clean. Like I tend to use a lot of textures and stuff, and I just love how clean and sleek and shiny everything he does is. He's amazing, man. I love that book.
Oh, that was gonna be great.
And he knocks stuff out. I saw him like the other day. He was saying like, "Oh, graveyard shift is going to end. I better work on something for it." And then like within a couple of hours, he put up that amazing graveyard shift art
Yeah,
from the
that
other
was
night.
awesome.
And yeah, it was like, whoa, the colors on that. That's probably, I mean, just the tones. If you go and you look at the characters' skin tones in that book, just the movement and how there's so much like just blues and this subsurface scattering across the face of the characters, it's insane.
I love how he does that stuff, and he's just like, "Oh, here's a fan art I did." And you're like, "What the
And then
fuck?"
everybody turns it into a cover immediately.
Right? Yeah, no, his coloring is amazing. He's probably one of the best colors, not just in Comicsgate, but I'd say in comics period. I would put his work, I'll go page for page with just about anybody out there, really. He's just that damn good and talented, and we are very, very lucky to have him.
He's able to do effects so well too.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's pretty insane. And when I saw that graveyard shift thing, I didn't know he could do like just the tones and skin make it like that. It's almost getting to the point where if you like, it almost looks like one of those kind of not as bad as it, but the kind of those early 3D renderings where they would have really good like kind of skin subsurface scattering, but the shapes wouldn't be that right. That's sort of like, it's like that, but it's good. That almost sounds like an insult. I don't mean it like that. I mean it like it looks great. Yeah,
we got
it's crazy.
It
Even
reminds
that
me
moon
of.
in the background, like the way he drops in effects that they don't overpower anything. You know, like the all the girls' effects, the fires, the flames and stuff. I'd be so scared of ever dropping in like those kind of images or textures or effects, because I'd always feel like it would just overpower everything or would take away from it, and or wouldn't match my style, wouldn't fit in that world. He just does it perfectly.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a mix of like Image Comics and the '80s cartoons, like Silverhawk and stuff like that. It brings.
Yeah, you know what? It really reminds me of early 2000s Marvel, where they were kind of getting really cinematic colors in, and they were getting, it was sort of like stuff was he pumps up the saturation a lot, but there was kind of that early stage of Marvel in the early 2000s where things were kind of desaturated and they were very cinematic looking books.
Mm-hmm.
And it's complete opposite now. Now it's like flat, same palettes and crap, but I mean, it's great.
This might be a good time to recognize the recently passed away Justin Ponzer. I don't know if you guys know him, but he worked at CrossGen,
Mm-hmm.
and then he worked at Marvel. And Justin Ponzer was a great colorist.
Yeah,
kind
I
of off
think
topic, but since
no,
you
no,
guys were
no.
talking
Yeah,
about
no, no.
books,
Yeah, no. His stuff is part of that style I'm talking about. That kind of really cinematic looking colors, like.
And next we have Graveyard Shift Volume 2 by Coach.
Yeah, I love Graveyard Shift.
Did you get the first
It
one?
better. Yeah, that's great, man. I love it. I love the. I hope Malin does more of the. I think he was maybe just doing it in the book, um, to save space, but he would do these real cool things where he would have like a panel, and then down the bottom of the panel he would have the characters, but just sort of like silhouetted or like
Mm-hmm.
just a character stand alone, and that would be the next panel, but it wouldn't be contained in the panel. I think he was just doing it because he was trying to save space at the time making that book, because it's like a packed book.
Yep.
But I hope he does more stuff like that. I thought that was so cool. Like I was like, I want to steal that because I love that stuff. Like I love like I don't script my stuff. Like I don't write down and be like, they do this and they do this and they do this. Like lay out my pages, and
So,
I draw it out. I draw out what they would be doing or what they would be doing. So I'm always sort of calculating what visual to give the most impact, what one to give the most space, how to break down, a sequence visually, or what way I can do that to make it better.
I just noticed that he extended his campaign. Last time
Yeah,
I
he
checked, he
did.
had 4 hours left, so. Yeah. Good, I'll be able to back it.
And that's a rare thing for him to do. Most of the time, he just does first 30 days and out. So
yeah,
this is a good
he said it's
opportunity. That
not going to go in demand. It's not going to go in
no, he
demand.
doesn't
So
do in demand.
no,
Okay, so go check out My Blood Hunt. Not more. I'm not spending more time on that one. It's in demand. Go check it out. And Star, you want to plug the Demons in G String?
Yeah. Demons and G String mailing list is now set up. You can access it from my Twitter page. It should be pinned at the top. Um, Demon and G String is about a doppelganger demon named Lily who uses aspects of other demons to strengthen her own body. Um, and she must fight through an onslaught of demons sent by the current Demon King while protecting this young boy named Kenneth, who's been chosen by fate to become the next Demon King if he survives.
So this is her pretty self right there. So go sub. So back to Deathsworn.
Yeah,
All right.
when is that? When is that coming out?
We have a 3-page preview set up for CG Jumpstart, the first one, and then we have a 12-page preview that will be set up in the second CG Jumpstart.
It's not a preview. It's the origin. It's split into like a 3-page, then 12-page, and the second issue of CG Jumpstart. Then after that, we launch. We're gonna launch the campaign for the book.
Yeah, it'll be launching after the second CG Jumpstart, essentially.
And what was in CG will end up being an Ashcan, and it's the origin of the character. Then after that, the book starts up after that.
Excellent.
Hey, wait, sorry. My thing was kind of roboted now. I didn't interrupt anyone, did
Nope.
I?
No, you're fine.
Any other campaigns people want to bring up?
Oh God, what's it called? Oh, sorry. The dragon one. Mega Red. Mega
Oh,
Red.
Wisdom come,
Hera. Yeah, Wisdom comes.
and there was the Guardian of Urlock, I think too.
yes, Guardians of Erloth and Wisdom Come. Yeah, we had Cody was actually on Doodle and Chill a couple weeks ago, and then he was on the Wake Up show this morning. And this book just looks really good. Like, I like dragons, it's like just in any kind of thing. So as long as he's got a dragon in there, so and he's got some good drawn dragons. So definitely, that's definitely going to be a book that I'm going to be getting in on.
So go check out Wisdom Calm. Now at 20%. He's growing. He's at 805 now. So he's up to a good start. And we have
Yeah,
Guardian
he
of
just launched yesterday.
and we have Guardians of Herlock by KL. And right now they're at 1,745 and with a nice cover by Kane and White. Right here.
Yep, you get the original cover, which was the one up there, and then you get this second cover. You can get this second cover drawn by Kane and White, and a print, and you get a print of that cover for $20 plus $4 shipping, so it's $24. It's an amazing deal for the amount of art and everything that's in here.
Yeah, that Kane and White cover is really cool.
Yep, it is. It looks like a King Arthur versus a dragon in a way. The armor. That's what it reminds me of. Anyways.
It's cool. The dragons in armor.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Any other campaign?
No, I don't have any more. Oh, I want to. There is one campaign I want to talk about. Pull up Pillow Man and Blanket Boy, please and thank you.
Remember your manners, Nick.
Yeah, well, manners are important. They'll get you a long way.
And
That's
people,
true.
don't be shy. This is the section where we plug all type of different little before we go back to Deathsworn. So, Pillowman and Blanket Boy, maximum velocity.
All right. I just want to say this about this book. I absolutely love it. I got the $20 tier that's the virgin cover and it's in black and white, obviously, because I like that kind of stuff. Free shipping anywhere in the U.S., so you don't have to pay shipping if you live in the United States. The artwork in this book, if you'll keep scrolling down, and here's where it starts. I will go page for page with just about any other book out there, whether it be Marvel, DC, Image, or in Comicsgate. And I'll go page for page on the art and coloring in this book. They are that kind of solid and good.
That does look good.
Yes, and it's and a lot of people, I've heard people saying, "Well, I'm not real sure about the story." If the story is half as good as this art is, it's going to be fine. And another one was, "Well, I don't know if I can back. I feel weird backing a book called Pillowman and Blanket Boy." Remember, everybody, remember, at one point in time, everybody laughed at Batman and Robin. So just keep that in mind. But this is an all ages book, and people are starting to clamor for these books because they want to have books to share with their friends and to share with their kids. And this is the type of book that gets people interested in comics who've never seen a comic before, or it's a great story, fun story to share with your kids. I mean, it's about everyday objects. The dude is a pillow. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's definitely worth a back for the amount of money that you're going to pay for it. It's great value for money. The art looks fantastic. And I just know it's going to be a great book, but we got to get it funded, man. Books like these should be getting funded, and we need to start stepping up and doing that. And now I'll get off my soapbox.
Yeah, and I believe that the kind of concept came around. The Sean Davis who made it, he worked on it with his son. It was sort of a kind of project that they came up with together, for his son.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Well,
Is
him
Sean
and his
Davis
son
the
came
artist?
up with it. He's the writer.
Okay.
Oh.
Do you know who the artist is on this book?
Let me pull up the campaign real quick. Sorry about that. I should have had that ready to go.
That's okay. I could have just pulled it up.
Let's see here. The colorist is Rajesh Kumar, and Eric Weathers is doing the lettering.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Did you hear?
Sean Davis is the artist. Sean Davis is drawing all this.
And Parker
nice.
Davis is an 11-year-old, and his brain behind
Yeah,
the whole operation, and also happens to be the co-writer. Without him, there wouldn't be no Pillowman and Blanket Boy. So it's a father and son thing.
That's cool.
Yep, it's a father and son, and his son's only 11, and they started conceptualizing this when he was much younger. I mean, I wish I could put into words just like how important this book can be, and I think it's a very big sleeper, and we just need to make this happen. It's a $3,000 goal. We got 14 days left to do it. I've backed it. I know others who have backed it as well, and definitely give this.
Does he still have
Go
room
ahead.
to extend? Or
Yes.
Yes. Good.
Yes. And let's see here. I'm going to go back to the chat real quick.
And go sub to 7 legions.
Yes. Go definitely. That was one of the ones I was going to say from the chat.
Yeah.
Michael Beacon's project. And who's this who just joined us? Oh, we got Passion for Drawing in the house.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, it's
Hey,
up.
man.
It's
Howdy,
up. It's time to talk about some Doom Fate, it would seem.
Yes.
Yes, it
I
does.
saw the link. I was like, you know what? Let's see what everybody's up to. How's it going, everybody?
We're doing fine.
Good.
bro.
Good.
And go sub to Doom Fate. Here's the link.
It's the sign up link. Yes.
Yep.
So,
when are you planning to go live with that?
Let me share my screen.
now everybody's pressing the I want to know more button, so please let us know more.
Oh, okay. Doom Fate's going to be, right now, it's looking to be a 48-page graphic novel, sword and sorcery kind of thing. So lots of monsters and blood and fighting and cool stuff. It's about a character called Valeria and her path on making her own path through the world and the downsides that come with that. We got cool characters, really cool story. I think everybody's going to really like it. Art's done by myself, written by myself, probably lettered by myself. So,
You guys have no idea how good this looks. Like the stuff he's been putting into this book, we've been seeing some of it behind the scenes, and it's friggin' amazing.
Yeah, it's okay.
If it's anything like the coloring book, this book is going to be absolutely just like mind-blowingly outstanding.
Oh yeah, it looks
it's going to
great.
be 100 times better than the coloring book. So, I also we're going to be doing something different with the campaign. The stretch goals, and we're going to have add-ons. So at every certain money increments, something will be unlocked. And first could be trading cards and prints, and the higher we go up, the more stuff that will be unlocked. So we'll have postcards and bookmarks, and if we get to a certain amount of money, there'll be a second book of stories and things like that. Like, I got a whole plan of things. Right now, I'm having other artists in Comicsgate and a few outside of Comicsgate doing some trading cards for us. I got Simon. I got Carl. We got Sweens. We got Vic. We got
Carl's doing one?
Yes.
Awesome.
Joe Ball. There's a whole bunch of other, at least a dozen artists other than myself. Then I'm going to be doing 5 or 6. So there's going to be a lot of extra art, and some of the art that's come in has just been phenomenal. I'm glad everybody likes my art, but you should see some of the stuff these other artists have done. It will blow your socks off.
Do I still do you want to keep it secret, or do you want me to
Yeah,
show?
I want to keep yours. Yeah, I want to keep everybody's kind of on the download. We're ready
Perfect.
to launch, and because I'm saving that excitement for when. But let me tell you, and some of these guys on this panel have seen the art of some of the other artists, and they're just amazing. And I am really, really happy with everybody's effort and what they put into it. Oh, we have Vinny too. His came out really good.
Mm-hmm.
Just amazing art. I'm really happy with what everybody has done, and it's really going to showcase a lot of these other artists who don't get as much attention as they should. But I think on this, everybody's going to really, really sit up and take attention. So
I can vouch that most of the artists and the things that I've seen, people are pretty much went all out on that one.
yeah, everybody had fun with it too. I think everybody's having fun with the characters and stuff. So that's going to be a great exercise. So those are going to be trading cards. They're going to be prints. We're going to find other ways to get as much different versions of those arts. And then as the campaign goes along, if people are coming to me and say, hey, if I get a majority like, oh, I really like this print, this picture by Simon, let's say, I want it as a print, then we start unlocking it as prints and things like that, whatever, trying to get as much feedback from people as possible. So I'm really excited about that part. And it's going to be a different campaign. It's going to be unique to anything in Comicsgate. I think you guys are going to, it's hard to explain, but when you see it going, it'll all come together.
And
so,
do you want to give a little hint for the possible game if you reach that?
Yeah, if we get over 50,000, then the whole campaign changes. So what I have planned is this is going to be a whole world, like a role-playing game. So like Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm going to come up with modules, adventures, kind of our own source book, with the monsters and stuff that I've created for this world. Some of the adventures are going to tie into the comic. So you can play a D&D adventure that kind of ties into the comic a little bit with your own characters. There's going to be, and it'll expand. I have big, grandiose plans for it. And then hopefully we can get custom dice and character sheets. And
are you still going to build it the way that it's the characters are going to be playable in D&D?
Yes. So the trading cards. Thank you, Simon. The trading cards on the back of them, usually they just have like their history. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have the stats so you can plug them into Dungeons and Dragons games. So you just flip the card and you'll have all the stats and their abilities. You'll just flip them right over and be able to plug them in. So that'll be the first part. That'll come out right away.
So see why I said your idea was interesting, Carl?
Yeah, definitely.
But
hey, Sim.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Passion. I'm my fault.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask you when we're done with Doom Fate if we could pull up Fireshine.
Yes. Give me a sec.
Simon's in incognito. He doesn't want to be seen.
I've learned by almost doxing myself twice. So, anything else you want to say about the Doom Fate? Go, Sub.
Yeah, just there's going to be some previews coming out here soon. I had character previews the past few weeks, and I'm going to be having a 9-page preview. Please sign up for the mail. You'll get each page preview a couple days early, then I'll post it on Twitter. You also get access to special secret tier when it comes out, where you'll get a discount and you get a special trading card by myself it'll be alternate art trading card. You won't be able to get it anywhere else. So,
and it's free to sign up for these newsletters, so there's no reason not to.
Yeah, and I don't spam people. It's going to be just anything related to the campaign. So, to get everybody.
Yeah, and I can never push the importance of these mailing lists enough. These mailing lists are for the creators just as important as they are for us, the backers, because it keeps us, the backers, up to date on everything that's going on, but it gives the creators an idea of how many books they need to print, some stretch, how long it looks like it's going to take to hit some stretch goals and stuff like that. These things are very, very important. And if you're thinking about starting a project, I encourage you at least 2 to 3 months out, make a mailing list and start putting it everywhere. And that will give, by the time the campaign launches, based on your mailing list reaction and everything, that'll give you a pretty good idea of how many people you've got out there that are at least interested enough to back and or help promote and pass the link around for your book.
Yes, that's exactly right. I mean, I've already got, last time I checked, I was over 60 people signed up.
That's great.
And I've only had it up for about a week.
Yeah,
so.
but that's because I signed up 25 times.
Definitely.
That's how much I love you, bro.
Sorry, I only bought one of your books. Son.
Oh, God damn it.
It's the Canadian shipping, man. It's
So Fireshine, bro. You want to plug
I still say my yeah, I got it. Basically, I just wanted everybody to I just want everybody to go take a look at this. This is Fireshine by Romaine Black. He was on. He actually got to be on War Campaign last weekend, and that was pretty cool. But I love this book. I love the art in it. I've said that his style kind of reminds me of graffiti and those big street murals that you'll see on the side of buildings and stuff like that. It's got that kind of feel to it. It looks just amazing. And this is somebody who's relatively new to Comicsgate, and he's just got a $500 goal to get his book published and out there, man. And you know, everybody in Comicsgate pretty much knows who Andrew Hoyt is. The dude makes art that you can hear. And so does Carl. This guy does the same thing. He's not quite on their level yet, but he will get there. And I just love how he uses like the penciling in and with the colors and everything. It just looks great. And we've heard some of the story of it already. This is going to be a really good book. Mm-hmm. So please go out and back this.
And he didn't have any stretch goals? No, not yet. We're going to need to tell him to set up. We should talk to him and tell him to set up some stretch goals.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check it out.
But he's almost there. Yeah, for $20. Yeah, for $20 you get what's called the deluxe edition or ultimate edition, and it's got behind the scenes. I think it's got a little ash can in it and stuff like that, and you know, it's going to be a good book.
And he's less than $80 away from making his goal, so go, yeah. People. So
it looks like Street Fighter comics.
Let's do a quick recap. Fireshine, back it. Doom Fate, go sub. 7 Legion, go sub, because the guy's great in colors and the book looks freaking awesome. And the guy's freaking cool. Pillow Man and Blanket Boy. Interesting project. Supported and highly promoted by Mr. Nick there. Guardian of Elog by Kel. Great guy. Great looking book. Wisdom Come. Same thing. Great guy. Great looking book. And it has dragons. Graveyard Shift. You know, Hell Coach. Starblades. Everybody loves the critter. So go back it. Demons and G-String. Come on, bring sexy back. Super Aram. Well, you know, Wenger and balls. Everybody likes Wengers and balls. So go support my brothers, my bros, the comic. You know, I love them. Been supporting them since the go, and you know, we always had each other's back. So go support Super Aram. He's on vacation. Let's give him a fucking nice surprise. And when he comes back after a weekend, let's get him over that 12K. Come on, people. He deserves it. He ate a freaking comic for us.
Yes, he did.
And now back to Deathsworn by the great Carl Oro. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I just backed this one. This could be great.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, I saw Carl working on some of this stuff like a few months back, and it just looks amazing. So yeah, this is a book I'm jealous of.
If it wasn't the fact that I'm very busy lately, you would already have a fan art of this up.
Oh, thanks.
It'll be coming. It's just I'm a bit overly charged lately.
You're gonna get a fan art from me, but it's gonna be shit.
Can you just drop it into the summoning circle? I think that would be good enough.
Yeah, and I'm dropping a few other links in the chat to some other books that are up on IGG now or are have a mailing list. So those are what those are that are showing up in the chat.
And I'll be honest with you, Carl. You're in the top 3 with the critter and the coach. You're like the third one, then the one I want to buy.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, but yours not out yet, and you know I'm gonna buy it.
I know. Mine's
I'm kind of forced to.
Nothing but second best or passion.
Yeah, but you know, we have to support our bros.
Yes.
As someone who's just a writer and can't draw or anything, like this isn't just Carl, but just looking at Carl's artwork, like I can't even believe it's even possible to draw like that.
We sell his soul to the devil.
Hey, stop telling our secrets.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt, Carl. Sorry.
You know, we
Um,
made a promise to our overlord boss, right? That we should not talk about this, right, Carl?
yeah, totally. My heart is on the right side of my chest and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, how he really does this. He lights a few candles and then you see him heaving and then he like vomits it onto the paper and then it looks like this.
How do you
I
think?
can tell you.
How do you think that we don't need that much sleep? And we work at night. I'm sure you work more nights,
Yeah,
right?
that's
I feed on the souls that Satan collects for me.
There you
That's
go.
how I stay awake.
See, Moss
That's how I
already,
stay young and I stay awake and everything.
Moss keeps saying that he found herself.
haha, I'm a
that-
ginger. You can't feed on my soul, bitch.
Oh, there's two in here.
Then we're gonna rip him apart.
These gingers.
Carl, how did you come up with the idea for the solar vampire?
It came from that name, you know, like I heard this Russian sort of name.
From the
And
Dark Star thing?
Yeah, and I kept I kind of reduced it. I thought it sounded like Dark Star, and so I just reduced it down to that. And then I was like, because I was already dealing with this kind of space vampire kind of story that thing originally belonged to. And I thought, like, how could someone get the name Dark Star, you know? And I thought, well, what if instead of being like hurt by the sun or whatever, they need it to survive, and so they actually like feed on suns, and you know that's how they make them go dark, and so they got this name called the Dark Stars, you know. And then there would be a royal family that are known as the Dark Stars, you know. So yeah, that's kind of how I came up with it. And then yeah, when I kept drawing her with Deathsworn for just little kind of, you know, promo pieces or whatever, not even promo pieces, just thumbnails, just trying to get ideas. I was like, oh, that could be the kind of setup for this universe to make it kind of gritty and dark and this kind of, you know, where, and then because the name itself, Deathsworn, it's like a franchise name as well as the name of the character, and it also works as kind of like a thematic sort of idea that runs through each character, that everybody kind of has this person or thing or, you know, faction that they have grudge and axe to grind with, you know.
So yeah, even more reason. Go buy that book now.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah, it does look very good. The I don't know if y'all remember this, but back in the day, there was a video game that was, I can't remember. I think it was called Sword and Sorcery or something like that. But you played like, it was kind of like a choose your own adventure type of video game where it had a cartoon, and you would be like an actually drawn cartoon too, and you would get to a certain point, and you would either do it right or it would ask you a question, and you would either make the right move or the wrong move, as these things do, and then it would go to a cut screen, and you would see like an animated knight falling down a well or something like that. And the art in this kind of reminds me of that a little bit. It's got that almost like a cell type structure to it that I really, really like.
It's on the Switch, by the way, Nick, if you want to relive your member berries.
Ah, so I did have the right game name.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I know what you're talking about.
And he knows that game's available.
Yeah, they've got a dark sider. They've got a dark sider on the Switch too. I'm gonna have to get that because I've got both of the other ones. They were absolutely fantastic to play.
Those are Joe Mad's games, right?
Yeah, I do believe.
Mhm.
Yeah. Those are games where I don't really want to play. I just want to get an art off book. You know?
Yeah,
Darksiders, yeah. That was great.
Yeah,
I've got
Battle
the,
Chasers is really good too.
Yeah, that's just a
It's actually
comic.
fun.
yeah.
The game.
You know what I really miss with games is those walkthrough books that they used to have, because they used to have like amazing art in there at the same time and the way they laid them out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
the,
my I've got it for the first dark or go whatever we were just talking about, riders or whatever, dark fucking hell, Darksiders, and I've got the walkthrough book, and it does in the back of it, it's got like 10 pages of just art, and it looks amazing.
He
James,
just
I
had
have
the
the,
art books.
I have the walkthrough book for Metal Gear Solid, and it's friggin' awesome. The artwork in
yeah.
it is sweet.
They do
Yeah,
have
I have
art
that
books.
watch out for the first.
I have that huge collection of the art of Metal Gear Solid. It's insane. It's like I think it's 3 huge books, and it's
Yeah.
in this giant it comes in a giant slipcase. Dark Horse put it out. It's
Yeah.
insane.
That's when
It's-
Hideo
it's-
was like on his game. He was like going hard. Hideo Kojima.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Yoji Shinkawa just brushing the shit out of everything, like replicable style.
James Hayes says that game was Dragon Lair you're thinking about, Nick?
No.
Yes, that's it. Yes. Well, no.
Because it didn't ask you questions. That was just a Twitch game where you would just
Left
see-
or right?
go left or right, up, down, and that was or jump. That was about it. What
this
he's
one-
talking about?
Yeah, this was.
You'd fall off the damn bridge all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. It came out in the early 1980s.
No, so then it'd be Dragon's Lair. I think, then.
Yeah, it's Don Bluth.
Yeah, Don Bluth did that. He also did Space Ace as well.
Yeah, I played Space. Yeah, so basically on the Switch, Nick, it has
Mhm.
Dragon's Lair, Space Ace, and a few other ones all in one.
Cool. Oh, I'll just have to go back and relive all that goodness all over again. Everybody can say what they want to about the Switch, but it is the best indie and old school game console out there. I don't care what anybody says. Nintendo is doing a bang up job getting in all these indie developers that Sony and Xbox and everybody else told to go fly a kite. And Nintendo's just like, hey, we'll take you. Come on. That's why they've been in business for over 100 and something years. You don't just sit in they aren't a fly by night game company. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, but their equipment always sucks and breaks, and then they
I've had,
like your
no,
passion.
I've had more trouble with an Xbox because I bought 360s and all of them got the red ring.
yeah, but you remember the GameCube when everybody was starting to go like certain like stereo and all this stuff, higher bit rate audio and everything, but GameCube was the only one who's like way back. They were still stuck in, stuck
Well, that's
like
because
generation
GameCube-
before. Remember when a long time
GameCube
they
was
didn't
a-
do discs? You remember that? I remember.
Yeah, well,
You
the
remember when everybody else was doing-
GameCube
Yeah,
was the
Pepperidge Farm, remember?
GameCube was the GameCube was the Sega Saturn remake because Nintendo had just bought Sega, so they didn't have any money to make a console. But Sega was like, "Well, hey, we got the Dreamcast. Yeah, we got the Dreamcast."
Remember
And,
the cartridges
Nintendo was
that
like-
get dirty and not work anymore? Remember that? I remember that.
Yeah, you had to blow into the end of them. Yeah.
I assume we're gonna start calling.
I still have my
Passion for
original
Pepperidge.
Nintendo.
I miss my GameCube.
But I will say this about Nintendo: they made the best controller ever, and that was the Game Bird, or the one that was for GameCube. Where was it? Not Game Bird or the Game Wave or whatever it was. It was wireless, and then it was perfect in your hand.
Oh yeah, that's still the
Wii
best
Bird,
controller
that's it.
for to play. What's it called?
No one has as good of a
fighting
mobile game platform
that
as
game. Yeah.
Nintendo. I think that's the only reason why they're able to get it away right now. Is because
You remember the Wii remote, and people were throwing it into their televisions. Do you remember
yeah,
that?
and then they had to put
Yeah,
all the
that was a good
Remember that?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not so great on the equipment. Games, they're always good at them when they come out with them. But
yeah, when they come out with them.
yeah, how long did they wait for Zelda, and then they ended up just stretching it anyway into the Switch? Yeah, they're like, we'll just put it on the Switch.
Sorry.
Isn't the Switch only 720p?
Yeah, the new one that they got coming out. Yeah, the new one they got coming out is going to be 4K.
You know, docking passion. You know how things always amplify when you're docking.
Sometimes, yeah. Just gotta make sure those tips are nice and clean. Blow on them. Wow,
Yep.
Weird.
it's got degenerate.
I'm just watching Simon draw.
Yeah, same. That's badass.
I'm watching Passion draw.
Thank you.
Yeah, Passion's drawing good too.
I got inspired.
Oh, bastard.
Yeah, but Passion is drawing his book. He's not doing
Yeah,
anything.
Passion's just drawing a comic book, like a nerd.
Some nerd. How dare you on Doodle and Chill draw? What?
They're saying they couldn't find your channel, Sim.
Who can find my channel?
Sketch couldn't find your channel. He said he's changed.
He said we changed channels.
and he couldn't find you.
Just roaming in the
Yeah,
wilderness.
because we were
He's
originally
roaming in
supposed to
the
be on Adam.
Don't forget to put the sim between Simon and Putty.
Yeah, like don't forget the 3 in Man of Sex, otherwise you're gonna get different YouTube videos.
Yeah, and never Google
Yeah.
Man of Sex. 'Cause you'll find
Dude,
every,
that happened to me.
you'll
That
find,
happened to me when Wanger gave me the invite. I was like, let me get up the channel because I couldn't find a link on Twitter. And holy fuck, dude, I typed Man of Sex in Man of Sex into the YouTube browser, and it was all like Indian dudes going at it and stuff.
I mean, that's really what's
You're
going
on a
on at
list
his
now,
house.
Carl.
But
Isn't that what Stephen Kemp said too?
Well,
Yeah.
Carl, that usually goes off of browser history.
Everyone says that whenever there's a fucked up thing. Yeah, everyone says that whenever there's a fucked up thing.
Can't wait to see your YouTube algorithm.
What
after
have you
this, too.
been looking up? No, dude, it's like all these. I guess it's like Indian dudes that can't access porn or whatever, so they like update their weird Bollywood movies to YouTube that have all like a weird love triangle on them and shit. And you're like, what the fuck? It's the same thing of like if you do a video and you mark it as like comics or art or whatever, you have to restrict it, because if you just have it all ages, the second your stream ends, then there will be just like all these weird like videos for kids and stuff start coming up, and it's like, what's going on?
Carl's like, once I got an hour and a half into the Indian sex movie.
It wasn't Man of Sex.
I am not impressed.
Yeah, that's the thing with Bollywood porn. It's a bit different because then they start singing and wiggling their heads, and you're like, when are they going to get to the penetration?
sounds like you know a thing or two about it, Moss.
Well, I Googled my own name. I got the same thing that Carl got.
And then clicked and clicked and clicked.
I do have a question for Carl. Since we're talking about porn and nudity and sex, is there any in the book, or it's PG-13?
No, it's pretty PG-13. There's no like explicit nudity or cursing in the book.
It's implicit nudity.
Yeah, there's a couple of like well-placed shadows, tasteful shadows. But
Ooh, that's a good name.
yeah,
for a
no,
book.
it's pretty like it.
Yeah.
Tasteful Shadows sounds like a fucking George Michael album.
Siding, the careless whisper.
Careless
Totally
Whisper,
when he's
Silent
not coming out.
Boy. Well, my book's going to be R-rated. It's not going to have nudity or sex in it, but there's going to be plenty of violence and probably strategic shadows maybe here and there, but not too much.
I mean, there's no sex, but you get
Not
to
for the
see,
little kids.
you get a lot of violence and you get to see boobies.
Well,
That's about it. There's no sex. There's no porn. No soft porn. No nothing. Just boobies. And people getting killed.
I've seen boobies.
have you ever seen boobies?
Have you ever felt them? They're like a bag of sand.
I know that reference.
No. I don't deserve to see boobies. They're too
Aaron's new
soft.
nickname is Andre 4000 after last night.
Yep.
Wasn't in half speed Malin?
That's
Yeah. Adam calls me that. Yeah.
We got Israel Garcia in the chat asking Carl, how long will Deathsworn campaign be running? Are you gonna go in demand, or are you just gonna go up to print, or how's that gonna work?
It'll definitely be going into demand when I finish the either if I do the first round or I go for a second round of the funding, you know. But yeah, it's gonna be in demand, so there's plenty of time to grab it.
How many books is it gonna be? Do you know yet?
Well, just due to sort of like shipping and stuff, it seems like each arc is always gonna have to be split into 2 books. So the kind of first arc, like of the major first story, is gonna be book 1 and book 2. So this is like the first half of the first arc, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Sounds good. It's gonna be good.
And Passion, you're gonna take your book on forever, right?
It's gonna be launching in September sometime. I haven't got a solid date because I'm waiting to see what some other comic skaters are gonna do, and then it's gonna go, and it won't be. We'll have 30 days, 60 days, and then it'll go in demand, and it probably won't be shipping till March or April. To give me plenty of time, because I've never drawn a sequential comic before. I've pretty much always done just pictures, full pieces. So I'm not sure how long it'll take me. That's why I'm also doing this preview to kind of give me an idea where I'm at. I think I'm going pretty quick, but I'm also coloring the book, inking the book, writing it. So it's going to take me a little bit. It's more of a one-man job that takes a little bit more time. So I want to give myself plenty of time, but it'll be in demand. And we'll always be unlocking stuff as we go along. It'll be a cool campaign. I think I want to give everybody, like, being part of the campaign, I want everybody to feel like they're part of it and they're invested, and get hyped about what's coming next. So that's my goal, to make the campaign fun too.
I want everyone. If I have to take a poop, I want them to feel like they're also taking a poop.
Exactly. Are you saying my project is shit?
No, it sounds like you did, though.
No.
No, I bought
Is it
your
going
last
to be a
project.
one-shot Passion?
Oh yeah,
or-
he's good. No. I'm gonna do right now. It's looking like four books, graphic novels, maybe 5. I have all of this issue plotted. I have the ending all done. So I have this book and the ending and part of the second book already plotted. So, and I have some story beats that I want to get to from the beginning to the end. But I guess see what else I got to come up with some more stuff. So, but it's probably 4, maybe 5 graphic novels. Plus, if we get to do the extra books, where those are going to be stories, because that's at the 50,000 mark. I'm going to do a story. I'm going to get artists and some writers from here in CG, because I have some background stories that'd be really cool to put in a book to kind of give people extra stories and backgrounds on these characters, because I can't fit them all into one book. You can't be too many characters. Building the whole world out of it. It's going to be cool.
I'm looking forward to that. I think the cards are going to be a nice touch to that. I'm not one for trading cards. That's usually Adam AF's department, but I am, between Carl's book and your book, I'm actually getting excited about trading cards.
Well, if
I become some kind of Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh guy, I'm coming after you two.
Game Police is going to have cards too, brother.
Here's what's going to be unique about mine versus other people's. So, there's going to be just 2 tiers. There's going to be just get the book and shipping. It's going to be the cheapest tier. You get that. You get none of the stretch goals, none of the extra stuff. Okay, the book isn't signed, stripped down, bare bones. You'll be able to get the book. Then there's going to be a little more expensive tier, and it'll be discounted at first, and the discount goes away the longer you wait. But you get all the stretch goals during that. But what's going to be different is when the trading cards unlock, an add-on is going to be unlocked. So you can, in theory, so there'll be let's say, for example, there'll be a trading card tier. If you get that tier, it's going to be like, let's say, like $15. You get all the trading cards that get released throughout the campaign with a minimum amount of 10. So you get them all in a separate tier. So you could theoretically just get just the book and just the trading cards. You don't have to get all, with all the add-ons. Or there's going to be there's also going to be a print tier. So like you said, you're not really into trading cards, but boy, that art looks awesome as prints. You can just get the prints if you want.
No, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, so you can just get the book, buy the prints. You don't have to get all the other stuff if you don't want to. And then there'll be stretch goals on those add-ons too. Like for the trading cards, for example, if we get enough sales on those trading cards, I will go back to the artist and start asking them to do sketch cards or to sign them all or that kind of stuff. If we get enough people to buy enough of those, then everybody starts getting them. And the same thing with the prints and things like that. So it's going to be unique. It's going to be different. And it's all going to be spelled out for you. So when you see this, I'm going to have graphics and everything will look really cool.
So Moss, in case you're dumb, you'll be able to read it.
What do you mean,
You're right. I'm illiterate. How did you know? Learn to read.
Learn to read.
Some more Aaron Gold.
One of the things I'm kind of looking into, and I've got to next time I speak to my printers, I'm going to check it out, is I'd love to do a stretch goal, or it would be a small enough one, I guess, but it depends, of like a fold-out pin-up,
Yes.
like have an insert in the middle of the book that, I think that's cool, and it's old school, and I could do some of the characters, I can do like a proper, cheesecake pin-up or something that, you have to proper take out in the middle of the book and fold it out. And
yeah, that's going to be one of my stretch goals. I already got that set up where the cover that I did, this cover is going to be a fold-out poster. So that's at like the 25,000 mark where if you get the stretch goals, you'll get this fold-out poster. It'll be in the book. So that'll be like the halfway point. And then later on, it could always expand it to more. But sticking it in the book, printing-wise, that can be really expensive.
You're better off printing it, folding it in two, and just put it along with the book.
Yeah, because the insertion fees, and then they have to special glue it, Carl. So what they'll have to do probably is put special glue in there where it could come off. I don't remember those old Wizard magazines where they would have the pull-out poster and some would be glued. That gets a little expensive. But it's a cool idea though. Cool idea.
Cool deal.
Customers would like it.
Yes, customers. I think everybody's always down with stuff to put on their wall as far as art goes and stuff like that. So
Or on their car.
I'm always, I'm always of the persuasion. The more of the prints and art tiers and stickers and stuff like that you can put into a campaign, the better off it's going to be, because everybody, they got the book, but they want that, that badass print or drawing or whatever to frame and put on the wall or to hang a poster or something like that.
Yeah, that's how I'm going with my campaign. Is I figured out the shipping, how much the books could weigh, how much an extra book would weigh, and how much stuff can I fit in there and a cost effective with the shipping I'm charging. How much stuff can I just fit in there? And that's how far I'm going to make the campaign go. It's like, can I fit, for, $13 shipping, how much stuff can I fit in a box? And you can fit quite a bit. So if you do it right. So, and it's not, a lot of the higher end guys in Comicsgate, they go to these high end printers and top quality prints for trading cards, and that's great and all, but there's other cheaper options for us people down here in the cheap seats, and they're still good quality. They're not, the hardcore collector gold foiled, whatever silver wrapped cards, but you can get something for the customers at a reasonable price. Same thing with prints and things like that. It's just the shit
that's
you really
what
have to watch out for. Go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, one of the things I set up I'm sort of doing it's like my own package and take on the trading cards, because I was looking at some of the rates to try to look for foil or even plastic wrap stuff, and it added so much to it. So I was like, okay, I'll just buy a protective sleeve that you'd use for the sketch card or a regular trading card, and then I'll print. I'll just get big pages of like these silk printed little cover slips, and I'll cut them up myself and insert it into the front of it, and then have the other 5 cards in with that, and it makes it a real cool, like nice professional looking package, without having the, I mean, some of the rates I was looking at over here for foil wrap stuff was insane.
Yeah, they make because this is how I'm going to do it too. I sell a lot of Magic cards online. It's like a side business of mine. So they do make these wraps. They're like you can put a bunch of cards in them, and it has a tear off little strip at the top, and it kind of seals it up. And you could put in a bunch of cards in there, and then put in like your little art, like you're talking about, Carl. Put that in there, and then that's a pack right there. And then when the customer opens it up, they have to actually open it up like a pack of cards almost. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Really cheap. Yeah, they're really cheap. I mean, for like 1,000, you might pay like $20.
Dude, can you send me a link to them or something on Amazon?
Yeah, I can show you the Amazon where I buy them.
That'd be great, dude.
They're called, they're Ultra Pro team bags, they're called.
Oh, Ultra Pro is the ones I was using anyway.
Ultra Pro
for the regular ones.
Well, they have team bags. These are they come in packs of 100, and they're like $3 for 100, and you can fit a top loader in it and seal it up. So theoretically, you could put all the cards in there, just seal it up, and go, because it has a little strip on it.
Yeah.
And look that up, and you'll get those. I use those all the time to protect, because I put the Magic card in a sleeve, then I put that in a top loader, then I put it in one of these and seal it up, and then I send it in the mail. So, and I never had any complaints. And it's a cheap alternative to obviously you got to do all the labor, but it's a cheap alternative to having a company do it for you and seal packs and all the graphic design that goes with that and all that stuff. That can get crazy. It can get expensive.
Yeah, I found when I was originally looking up, I found they were like a playing card company that they were custom playing cards, and I think they were in Italy or somewhere, so it would have been too bad for me, but they could do custom card boxes at any size, and I was like, that'd be so cool, but they only did the rounded corners,
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh man, I really want the old school sort of looking Marvel trading card square ones, Yeah,
I'm thinking about a card game, like an actual, like a collectible card game, but that's way down the line. I don't know if I could even do that. It had to be worked out, a lot of testing and to make it work correctly. But there is open systems for it to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we were discussing doing it with the Magic type of style before us.
Yeah.
We found a place that prints like foil, plastic, and all type of Magic type of looking cards. So it was one of the things that we discussed, me and Moss.
Yeah, you just got to be careful with that. They go after people if you make it look too much like Magic cards. They'll go after. They sue people.
What you probably could do is reach out to Jeremy from the Quartering, because he came from that community.
Mm,
No, I mean, I used to own a gaming store, so I was big in Magic. So they've sued people if things look too much like Magic cards. They've gone after them. So
yeah, my bro used to play in
And that's the
competition. He
Wizards
used to
of the
always talk
Coast,
to me.
right?
yeah, Wizards of the Coast, but they own like the copyright to way the cards laid out. So if you make your card look different, and then you can't use the same mana symbols, you can't even use like a B for black and all that stuff. You got to make the card look distinctly different, or they will come after you. They've sued several digital card game companies who tried to kind of make their cards look like Magic cards and work somewhat functionally the same too. That's where it's tricky. It's tricky.
Run DMC. Got it.
Yes, it's tricky.
Yes. I watched that series yesterday, the Evolution of Hip Hop on Netflix. It was really good.
Here's a little quick sketch of the head of Deathsworn. Is
I
that
was
his name?
about to ask, man.
That's
Yeah.
his name, right?
Yeah, I don't even know what his real name is, and I don't want anybody to know, so I haven't even thought about it. He's just Deathsworn. And that's part of kind of the story too. So
Don't forget the hair. Don't forget the hair off the
space mullet,
sides.
dude.
Yep.
Gotta have
Don't
that
forget the
space mullet.
space mullet, man. Forget that, Simon.
Yeah, it's coming. It's under the horns, so it's coming.
I'm messing around with Shieldius.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from on that, Carl, about it coming up with a name other than Deathsworn. What's his name? Deathsworn. What's his real name? I don't know. Frank? I mean, come on.
Deathsworn the third.
Yeah, and it's it's actually part of the story. He doesn't really, he's sort of going on a path that he's kind of worse than what he started off as. So he's still kind of trying to find out what Deathsworn is, what he can do to make it better, other than chopping heads.
So is he cursed or?
You have
Yeah,
to-
I mean he's definitely been screwed over.
So, that's when you answer, buy the book, and find out.
By the book.
Book.
Yeah, and especially when it came to his kind of background, I never wanted to go, beat for beat and explain it. So you kind of learn it through, his eyes, re-experiencing it, and then you learn it from the other people that kind of populate that world and what they can put together of his armor and how he carries himself and what he has knowledge of. So it's I always wanted to I just want to point to it and go like, that's what it was. I don't want to ever explain it, and kind of keep that mystery and keep it, because you're never going to make it better than what someone can fill the blank in. I really wanted to just have a cool cliff note version of it, and everybody's like in the
Yeah.
background of everybody.
Once you reveal the mystery, it like takes a lot of the mystique away. Like, just like with Wolverine, like once they started explaining stuff about him, it was like, oh, what are you doing?
Or like Mystique.
Or like actually Mystique.
Yeah, but the Wolverine origin thing was really shitty.
Yeah.
It's because
Yes, it
writers
was.
wanted to come in and ruin it.
They just wanted him to be American.
Oh my gosh, Sim.
Passion hates writers.
I don't hate writers.
We
I just,
know.
well, you know what? You know what? They went in. They went in, and what did they do with Wolverine? You just said it so yourself, Aaron. They went in and they had to tell it, and it was shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone.
Yep.
Well, they
Just
should
leave
have
it alone.
they should have
Can't leave it
created
alone.
something else.
Well, when that
Could
ran
we
out,
have had Logan without Wolverine Origins, though? Could there still have been a Logan, the movie or the books, without that original? I'm not defending them in any way,
Yes.
shape, or form, because both the movie and
the
the
movie's
comic book
hello.
was
Yes.
terrible with his origin.
Yes,
But
because
with,
the only thing in the book that was different that people didn't like is the fact that he came from, technically he was one of the colonizers.
Colonizers.
Colonizers. There you go. Thank you. colonizers that came, and he had a.
I don't know the whole thing with his dad and
Yeah.
Sabretooth.
The father,
and
the fact that he was
that was
sick.
dumb. That was dumb. That's
Origin
not
story.
Wolverine.
I don't give
No.
a shit about origin
That's
stories.
like we don't care about his dad who his
It
dad's
made him.
broken.
It
Like-
made Wolverine look like a wuss.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
did, and I never liked that.
And-
And I didn't like, and so his name's James Howlett. I mean, what's wrong with Logan not
What?
having a last name? Just Logan. I mean, just like the
And then
man
the
that
other thing-
no one knows.
The other
He
thing
doesn't
that
know
really
himself.
ruined Wolverine is when they decided, some writer decided that his blades were bones, not
Yeah.
mechanically put onto him on
I-
purpose.
I
'Cause
thought that
before
was
that's how
that.
they.
I thought that was cool.
I thought that was
Mhm.
okay because
Yeah.
I think it's cool and it works, and it's always cool when it gets ripped off him. But I hated in that comic book where they made it come out from, like, they made it like his knuckles grew
Yeah.
instead of coming in between his fingers, and it was just like, because it was so odd looking, it was just uneven. The first 3 knuckles would have these spikes coming out of it, but not the 4th one.
Me, I
And
miss
you're like, it's just a bad stylistic choice. It's
Yeah.
like, just have it pop out in the middle, man.
I miss the backhand sockets when they used to pop out of his backhands. It was iconic.
Really,
Yeah.
when they
Yeah,
made
that
him
was-
Canadian, that's when they ruined everything.
Like honestly, it was so iconic in a way that you could just put a silhouette with those those brackets showing, and everybody knew it was fucking Wolverine.
Yeah, oh yeah. But I just didn't, the bone, his claws actually being bones that were part of him was because the old drawings like John Byrne and stuff, and those old ones of him, of his skeleton, they would show it as actually a mechanical device that they implanted into his forearms.
They never said that it was a mechanical device implanted.
Well,
It was
the
always
way
kept
they
a
drew
mystery.
it. The way they drew it, they never explained it.
Me,
That's
I-
part of the
me,
mystery.
I thought that
Who
was
cares?
Well, he was a mutant. They could do whatever, That's the whole point of
He
mutants.
just
Like, there's
heal.
no, they just exist. They don't have, they didn't get their powers in any special way. They were just born that way.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
after that they just freaking crafted. They always said they crafted adamantium to his bone, so it's logical that he had those claws there.
All right. Well, we're
Sounds
arguing about
Very
character who's
anti-ginger.
been
On
destroyed.
that one, I will call you out.
Anti-ginger.
Anti-ginger.
Wolverine's my favorite character. They ruined him, so
Yeah, they did ruin him.
he was fine before. Mysterious, all that stuff. Just leave it. I mean, Deadpool's starting to get that way too.
It went,
Sounds pretty misogynistic, Passion.
one of the best stories they did with him was the fact that he got over trying to find out what his life was before, and then he was just living his life, and then after that they ruined that with that freaking arch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, I accept my past. Oh no, wait a minute. Now my past is back.
Do you remember that weird Wolverine story? It was like an Old Man Logan before Old Man Logan. I think it was called The End,
Yes.
and it was set in the future. And I don't know who drew it, but they were almost like,
Castillero or something like that. His name was.
yeah, they had that real kind of like elongated Neil Adams sort of anatomy, where it was like they were just drawn straight from like a Bern Hogarth book. It was like everybody was sinew and collarbones and stuff, And I remember I saw that when I was a kid. It was in the newsagent's books over here, and I thought that was badass. Like, I'm sure the story is probably trash now, but I remember I had like 2 or 3 issues out of that run, and I was like, this is so cool. Like, the art in it was just so cool looking. There was like,
They
he had
did
like a
the Hulk,
weird
too.
brother who was like this weird, super skinny, slimy looking dude.
They did the Hulk the end too.
Yep. And that one was amazing. It was like Prometheus story based. Like, he dies, comes back, dies, come back, because the Hulk can never die. That was a cool story.
Yeah, he's kind of going crazy. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, never die.
With the crows coming to eat his flesh, then he comes back. Boom! It was freaking interesting, and it was like one of the last Delkian Hulk. And
Yeah,
Peter-
I just
and
looked
Peter
that
David.
up, and I'm like, shit, it's Dave Keown. It looks
Yes.
badass.
It was the
It
last one
looks
he
great. Holy fuck.
did. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It is.
that looks so good. I'm gonna order this.
And if you're careful, look, if you buy the trade, of the end. You also get the what is it? Imperfect future or something like that. Present and future, where
Oh,
with
Hulk, Future, and Perfect.
yes, you get it with it.
George Perez and
Yeah.
yeah,
You,
That's
Oh,
great.
really? That comes with it,
yeah,
dude. I
yeah.
love that.
if
I
you
That
love
was a good one. Yeah.
because
George Perez is another one of those guys that I just love his paneling. And I love
the end was made as one shot, like a one shot comic, right? So you get that in
Mhm.
the trade plus the future imperfect.
Yeah, originally
that's
Future and Perfect came out as 2 thick books.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a poster with Perez. Did a poster with Alex Ross for the Crisis reissue. I still have that.
And
It's huge. It's ginormous.
and that's where we meet Maestro, the evil Hulk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That one's good. There's that one. He did a commission. You probably find it somewhere where it has the Hulk sitting there in a chair, and he's got all the weapons and outfits of all the heroes and bad guys from before that he's defeated.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really cool picture.
Yeah, that story was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Man,
Peter David did
Dale
a lot.
Keown is just
He
something
did a lot
else.
of good Hulk
Yes.
stories.
He was great when he took over the darkness too.
Yeah, they did this. Marvel did this purge, like what early aughts, where they just a lot of late '90s, early aughts, where they got rid of these solid writers like Claremont and David. And they just kicked them off the books. Like, you're done.
Yeah.
It just, I don't understand why they made that move.
I think Claremont left because he was just tired of like the X office was controlling everything. Like they were telling him what to write, so it was just like dumb.
I've seen interviews. He says he's got like tons of more stories for the X-Men, but
yeah,
Dude, they
should've
need
left
him to
him
come
alone.
back and do a Jim Lee type, like what they did.
he didn't
with
need to
that
come back. The guy
X-Men
just
on.
collects checks.
No, I mean like they need to do that kind of feel. I think like I look at the X-Men now, it's like they're like doing John and Hickman shit, and it's like you're just making it more complicated, more out there, and I have that gap in my life, which is the yellow and blue X-Men, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want that, and I want that, and I want the Danger Room, and I want Magneto and the purple and red, and I want that feeling, but I want it in like the new age, You can make
they
it a
have to
bit
sit around
retro-y and
eat
stuff, but
sandwiches and stuff now.
Yeah, just replace all the tube televisions and typewriters with the laptops and flat screens and cell phones, and you got it.
yeah, man.
I miss
Cell
those
phones should never be brought into a story like smartphones. Smartphones are anti-story, and I fucking how can you even like? I don't know how adventure happens no more with smartphones. You can't even have a horror movie without like the villain knocking out the entire energy circuit of like the tree towns over.
That's what that's what made me like give up on Avengers Endgame, was that scene with the Hulk and the selfie and everything. I'm like, I'm done. I checked out at that point.
Me, the only
Like, from that point to the part with Captain America at the end, I had checked out of the movie from that was about an hour. I checked out of the movie at that point.
There was one movie, I think it was one of the Halloween. Yeah, it was Halloween, when they used the cell phones and the laptops as a cool thing, because they were stuck in the house, and it was like a live show type of thing, and people were telling them by phone and text, like they were watching. They're like, he's coming, he's on that way, and I thought that was a good use of it. But that's the only time they did.
Well, was it The Dark Knight was well done too, with where they had it where it was all they could peek into all the phones and everything, use it like a sonar.
Or the Sherlock series.
That was kind of done interesting.
Did you guys see the Sherlock series where where the phone is used like a lot and he can hack people's phone?
Mm-hmm.
That was well done.
Yay!
You just don't like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yay!
I'll have to agree. The Sherlock show is good.
Yeah, it's not
You
bad.
can take your bad mouthing. I mean, Stephen Moffat can write. The dude can write a fucking story.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he sounds like his name is Miss Muppet, sat on the toughest.
Yeah.
But he always writes stuff
whatever.
that's like depressing and foo-foo, and and then it has no meaning to it, except to him, and He's like the J.J. Abrams writer of England. He's just there's
The
nothing.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, because J.J. Abrams and his guys always write these things, and then they'll start arcs, and then they never tell you what it's about or any backstory or anything. It's frustrating. Like Lost was like that, and Force Awakens was like that. Star Trek.
They always act like there's like this big mystery that's going to be told, and that's always dumb.
Right. Or then they never finish it. They're like, wait a minute. What happened with that? Oh, what happened with Ray's parents? Pfft, don't know. Who cares?
Don't give a shit.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any.
Moffat was like that too. There was a lot of things in Doctor Who he would start and he would never finish.
Ray's such a strong woman
Yeah,
that she
that's
just
true.
came out of the ether world.
Yeah, and she can do anything, kick an old man's ass.
She gave birth to herself.
Yep. She wanted it hard enough that it just happened, like they all want. I just want it. I don't.
She
have
willed
to do
herself
nothing.
into existence.
Yep.
So is Ray the JDA of Star Wars now?
JD Ray.
Damn. I never thought I'd say don't insult Ray like that, but damn.
Poor Ray.
Well, now would she be JDA or Doug? That's the question.
No, JDA invented everything.
I'd like to
It's
replace Ray with Ray Romano and see how that story works out.
What do you do here? This light say what?
Mom!
Ma!
That would be hilarious. Someone takes the audio of that and put Ray Romano in his face, like do a deep fake. That would be hilarious.
That'd be fantastic.
And have Kylo be his brother, the guy who plays Ray Romano's brother in the thing.
People got so pissed at me when I was calling him Kyle Ren. They're like, his name's Kylo. I'm like, I love Kyle Ren.
Kylo. Where do they come up with that name? Kylo.
He's
I
Ben
don't know.
Solo.
But
Yeah,
some
I mean-
douche named their dog Kylo near me. And I'm like, oh, unfortunate.
The only way to save that franchise is, in the next movie, whenever something messed up happens, someone just say, "Damn it, Kyle," and just.
The only way to save that franchise now is for them to finally reveal all this time what we knew, that Jar Jar Binks was the trick sister.
Ah, shut up.
Yes, yes. I want the Jar Jar story.
Like he's actually the emperor.
There
Yeah.
is no Jar.
No, he is the
Jar
Sith
Jar
Lord.
story.
He is the one behind everything.
No,
He is.
no.
Yes, he is.
That's just how
It
know.
all makes
This
sense.
is how we know the
You
live
guys-
stream
you
is
guys
done
fu-
when
you
you
guys-
start with this shit.
You guys argue it out. I'm going to get myself some Coke. I'll be back.
Shit!
Did you hear what happened to Jar Jar in like the new expanded universe? Apparently, like he was ousted.
Thought he was, and
No, dude, it's worse than that. He became like
He's like
he
a
was
bum.
put on the outs, and like now he's like a homeless clown, and even like children laugh at him and throw food at him in the streets and stuff.
Is he
Why
a
is that
junkie?
any difference than when he first appeared? He stepped in poop. He was made for kids to laugh at him.
Dude, he was like, I mean, how did he work his way up into like politics so far with being a
Because
fucking
he's a
idiot?
true
because he's a
Lord.
Sith Lord.
No, he's not.
He is the
Jedi
ultimate
mind
Sith
tricks.
Lord.
You ever watch an Ernest movie? Kind of like that.
Ernest movie?
Come on.
Ernest.
Ernest does
Jim-
the
Jim
porno.
Barney, yeah.
Come on.
Ernest steals some stuff.
You have to
Ernest
admit,
Ernest
You are.
embezzles.
you have to admit, Aaron, he has to use some kind of force to be that fucking lucky. So that you want to deny it. I don't like the idea, but hey, he got away with so many stupid things, juggling that thing, the bomb thing, and this. It's like that guy has to be. He's not just stupid. He's like the drunken master. So
No.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
It's
Mr.
like-
Magoo of Star Wars.
I
Him
know
and
an
Boba
awful
Fett.
lot of stupid people that are pretty lucky.
It's politics. He was at the right place at the right time. He met the right people, and there's like, yeah, let's give our dumb friend a job. That's pretty much how it works.
Well, he's one of the war heroes of the Gungans, so the Gungans, I could say, the Gungans he would be one of the representatives that they would send. The Gungans aren't very smart either.
see, Sketch has a good question. Why is Jar Jar the only Gungan with Sith eyes?
That's very true.
Something that I brought up on a stream a while back is if you look at the Gungan, all the Gungan have either green or like a reddish eyes, where Jar Jar has yellow eyes, just like the Sith Lord when he was revealed.
And Jar Jar can communicate with other animals and stuff like he did on that what's his name's planet in the Clone Wars cartoons. I'm telling you, the dude had powers, and it was proven in Rebels that part of the Force of being one with the Force and everything is being able to communicate with animals and things like that.
Like when they go, like, okay, that's a good point. You remember when they swim through the middle of the planet, and all those fish just so happen to miss them all.
Yeah.
And there was that one point where the big one eats the other big one, just before they get eaten. Maybe Jar Jar had something to do with that.
Yeah.
You think Jar Jar fucks?
Jar Jar's always there.
And they never explain why he got kicked out of the Gungans.
Yeah.
They don't say that.
They said he had
evil.
It's because he was gay.
And if you think about it, the whole issue with Palpatine and how he got control over the council and did all this horrible crap is all because Jar Jar said, okay, yeah, pretty much whatever he says, we'll do. And the way that he got control is because of the stupid princess, which deserved to die in the first movie anyways.
Well, wasn't the Emperor from Naboo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Emperor was from the Detroit, if I remember correctly.
The Detroit.
So Kyle, you're now at 215%.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw that. I just went up. Someone picked up a book.
Awesome.
I want to get to 100 backers so bad, man.
You will.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta dip out. I got some stuff I gotta go do.
That's what I was gonna say. We're gonna sign out, so we're gonna start by you, Passion.
Yes. Please go sign up for the mailing list. You can follow me at Passion for Drawing on Twitter. That it has it sticky down there, the address and everything. And I'm always posting art and updates and all that other stuff. So please go on there and check out Doom Fate. It's coming real soon. So
your turn, Red.
Oh, hey. Yeah, sorry I was late. Sorry I got struck by lightning there and dipped out for a little bit. But yeah, please do get on board with the Gaze Agenda. Come subscribe at the Red Gaze. And keep an eye out. And back all of these books. They're all amazing. Fantastic.
And the Mossman?
I'm Man of S3X. Look forward to Meme Police and make sure you clean your penis.
We'll go with Star.
Jason Starr from the Starcast Network. It's been fun to be here. Definitely check out all these books that we've talked about today and keep a lookout for future updates from Demons and G-String.
And now to the Nick.
I am on Twitter. You can follow me at Tinfoil Hat Nick, and you can follow me on YouTube at Dewey Fundam and How. You can find me 10 a.m. on Art City Comics, at 2 p.m. here on Doodle and Chill. And there is one other project that I wanted to mention real quick. You don't have to pull it up or anything like that. It is just a mailing list right now, and that is Mike Murphy's new book that is coming out, The Gods Fear Me. Go and sign up for that mailing list because it is going to be amazing.
Indeed, dude. And Brian?
I'm Brian the Observer. I have a YouTube channel, Brian the Observer, and right now Atlantic Comics has the Comic Wars Indiegogo right now. It is all your favorite creators in a satirical 26-page black and white book. We are 15 out of our $1,500 goal, and also I'm working on a writing contest project. Hopefully it'll be out by the end of the month if I meet the deadline, and I'll drop links when that gets announced. And also check out atlanticcomicbooks.com, and you can sign up at the mailing list there for future projects.
Aaron?
And I am Andre 4000, PP Inspector, and the Queen of England. And
Your Majesty.
back Carlo Rose book Deathsworn.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Aaron.
And keep an eye out for
Thanks, dude.
and
Thanks.
keep an eye out for Chaos Chasers. And the man of the hour, Carl.
Hey, it's Carl Rowe, basically everywhere: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and yeah, check out Deathsworn. It's 80-page book, a 46-page black and white ashcan, and it's just pure 80s pretty space fantasy. Check it out.
Yeah, get behind it. It's gonna be great. And me, I'm Sim. You know who I am. You're on my channel right now. Please like, subscribe, find me on Twitter, and go support Bloodhunt, the most badass elite assassin vampire in comics. So that was fun. See you all next time. Bye bye.